By adding one M, they have inserted 1,000 years of time, history, into our timeline. If you can see right there, see there? No M. Here, M. Same building. So I keep trying to tell people, it's not 2025, it's 1025. That's the real date. Let me show you something. You see that? Right there? It says J672. What we have to keep in mind about these buildings, right? This is important. Sometimes it's hard for you to warp your mind around time. You have to understand that if that says J672, they're telling you that that was built in 672. That automatically means the building is over 1,000 years old. That also automatically tells you there's no way they could have built it. Any of these buildings. Again, J, and then the year. These are timestamps on buildings. And before all the great scholars and woke people start coming out and saying, oh, that J, that's for Julian, for the Julian calendar. That's bullshit. Why? Has anybody ever seen a G near the date for the Gregorian calendar? No. But for some reason, then people don't even think. That's just stupid. That would make absolutely no sense. You're not back in 800 going, hey, make sure you put a J. So 1,000 years from now, they know they was in the Julian time. Really? Does that make sense? Do you see us putting a G for Gregorian? You know, so 1,000 years from now, ancestors can go, oh, okay, because we can't count and we don't know. You get what I'm saying? It don't even make sense. Here, again, 638. And then this abstract thing comes out of nowhere. But this is the year on the building. This right here is very interesting, right? Look at the date on the building. You see the 7, you see the 8, and you see the 3, right? Which number here is completely out of place? Just take a look. Which one is out? Look at the 7, look at the 8, look at the 3. Then just look at this here. Like, where did that even come from? That was added afterwards. It is the only, look, this is 3 is here, the 8's like over here, the 7 is like, then this 1 is like right here, boom, perfect, straight up and down. What does that say? J, it's not a 1, J654. That is the year. If somebody can translate that, by all means, please translate that and put that in the comments. Thank you. Again, these are dates on buildings. January, J760. $787. Again, J. I found this very interesting because when I went to go research the company W&J Jones Grocers, come to find out, they were established and they built like their first place in 1885. Wouldn't that make more sense if a 1 was added here and it was 1885? Because in the record books it's saying they were established in 1885, but somehow this is sitting here and there is no 1 here. it's only 3/8. And y'all have to think. It says W&J Jones, established grocers, right? That means you're here, you're in the United States, you are an established business grocer, you have established companies, you have customers, you understand? In order to have this, you have to have a network. In the year 888, you own a grocery business here. And you're established in the year 888. Think about that. Then you got this here, where somebody just and you can see this ain't Photoshop. This ain't no split off. You see that? That goes up and it comes right up over here. This is on the same building. You can see the same little glyph. You can see the same joint right here, right? Look, 1803. What did that say? That's what happens, like when you lying and you lie too many times and you messing up all over the place and you just fucking up. You're lying and your lies is getting all twisted. J898. Look at the structure. You already know it's a Tartarian structure. You already know that. But ask yourself, if this building is here and the year is 888, who built this that long ago? Or is that long ago 200 years ago? Because we're in the year 1025. And I just so happen to look to the left in the sky, and I'm like, what the hell is that in the sky? What is that? I don't know what that is, but I just decided to show y'all because, you got to look in the background sometimes, and I don't know what the hell that is. But it ain't normal. Moving right along, once again, on the building. Date on the building. 768. J. 789. So 789, somebody was building all of this. Yes, my friends. They added 1,000 years to our history. This is not a question. They, without a doubt, added 1,000 years to throw us off and confuse us. And I said to myself, since when you go online right now, you're dealing with AI. AI has access to all the conscious information on the planet. And so I went on to the thing and I said, let me ask if I can just see all the dates on the buildings 1,000 years old. That's what I asked the app, right? Let me show you this. So I asked the joint, I said, show me all the buildings 1,000 years old. Look what it showed me. Nothing but Tartarian structures. Capitol buildings. Look, Coliseum. What? Artifacts. That looks like Yankee Stadium, don't it? So I typed in, let me see dates on buildings from 1,000 years ago. And it's going to show me these. What does that say? That says 1904. I asked for buildings from 1,000 years ago, and it showed me nothing but Tartarian structures and architecture from 1,000 years ago. But they're telling you it's dated 1900s, 1800s. They lying. Ain't no way. I asked for buildings from 1,000 years ago, and this is what they show me. Folks, we have been lied to. We have been duped. Your history is alive, and it's right there. In the stone, in the buildings. That's how the phrase goes. It's all set in stone. But when the mind's blind, the eyes can't see.